I think we're live.
Fuck you, chat.
Fuck you, chat. Of course. The legally required response to being on Twitch.
I am consistent.
Of course. Now, I'm going to start playing some pirate music. I'm going to turn that down just a wee bit so it's not overpowering. I will share this with you two. I'll just throw it into my game if you want to listen to the same stuff I'm listening to. So, unfortunately, due to the excessive amount of alcohol I drank the last time we did this, in the spirit of the finale, and the fact I didn't read Twitch's VOD changes, I lost the VOD for last session. So, for my purposes, as much as for you guys and the VOD, allow me a moment to recap the tragic madness of last session. We started the session with the bombs going off. Squib planted them around the city and set them off as he fled, nearly being eaten by maw rats and starving gulls as he fled the city. This served as the signal for Flood, as she abandoned her guise and rose high above the city, summoning forth a tidal wave of acid, destroying the civilian quarter and drawing out the golden dragon Galil to fight her above the city. The party then assaulted the wizard tower of Silotus, the silver dragon enchanter of Maritka. It was a close battle. The Stem Ek machine provided her with incredible buffs, in addition to this being both her wizard tower and lair. But as Sasha, y'all's divination hobgoblin wizard, disabled the machine, Silotus was vulnerable, and the opportunity was seized as Aurelia slew Silotus and drank her blood. But the tower was collapsing and the party fled quickly. However, in the moments that the party was fighting the dragon, Redbeard was below the Cathedral of Hate and slew the last admiral of the Maritka Navy. This triggered a ritual that had been set in place, summoning forth an army of hate angels that began to tear into the city. Civilian, mariner, and pirate alike began to fall as the net was destroyed. And this divine scourge was summoned. Mask, in a desperate attempt to get these angels off of y'all's back, used their concordance to ask Namir for assistance. The puppeteer answered, attaching her strings to Mask and puppeting hundreds of angels, shoving all of them into Flood. This did the job. With Flood slaying Galil and being infused with so much divine energy, it provided just enough of a gap for Aurelia to get the party out of the city and back to the flagship. However, as much as I thought this to be the finale of this tale, there is more to tell. So, as the party flees a dying city and barely gets back to the Blood Hall, the flagship of Rowena Mist, the newest pirate lord, Aurelia collapses onto the deck of the ship along with Mask, seeming to go comatose. Rowena, you have to immediately spring into action and order your crew to their stations, as it seems that they are in a trance, looking at the hateful light that burns above Maritka. But eventually, along with the rest of the pirates, you are able to retreat. The next several hours are cold and silent. No cheers of victory, nor sorrowful wails. Just the sound of the waves slapping against the hull and the flap of the breeze in the sails. The buccaneers of Bloodbath Bay, for so many centuries, being consumed by hatred for their oldest enemy, the Maritka Mariners. Now, that hatred is gone, and only a cold hole is left in their souls. Slack jaws and foggy eyes adorn all of the pirates who were too invested in the destruction of their enemy. As the ships sail away and days pass, eventually their senses return. But even still, there is no celebration, with most mourning the death of comrades lost in the madness of the siege. With that, Mask, we're gonna pick up with you.
Oh boy.
So, the final thing you remember is your prayer to the puppet master, and divine strings being pulled within you to cause hundreds, if not thousands, of angels to be shoved into flood. You have a vague set of perception memories associated with fleeing the city and watching it fall, but afterwards, it was darkness. Because of the stress and affliction, Mask fell into a coma for 39 days. But we're not picking up with Mask as you wake up. We're picking up with you inside of your coma. For the longest time, it was only darkness. The darkness of unconsciousness. And then it is just red, blinding and consuming. And you hear this tearing of flesh, metal, and reality itself, and with this deafening noise comes a pain in your soul. As quickly as it begins, it ends, but each moment seems to have lasted just long enough to leave you reeling from the sensation. The hollow feeling you are left with is something you didn't expect, however, with so many years of hating the Maritka Mariners, obsessing over their defeat, obsessing over perfecting your craft to aid in the various tasks that would lead to their downfall. The hole that is left with the hate being stripped out of you is a new feeling. It is around this point that your mind is coherent enough to be aware of coherency, as you are just unconscious, floating within your own mind. With that, what are Mask's first 3 thoughts?
Mask's first 3 thoughts after feeling all this pain and lonely, being like lonely now, or not lonely. What's it called?
Hollow.
Hollow. That's a better term. Happy that he did it. That the obsession and persistence paid off.
The joy of success. What is next?
Yeah. Let's see. Curious how everything will change now.
And as you ponder the possibilities, curious at what the future may hold for land and sea alike, what is Mask's third thought?
Kind of content. But still want more. Like, content with this, with what happened, but still always seeking more, greater heights.
Okay. As your thoughts of the joy of your success, contentment in knowing that you succeeded, falls into the curiosity of the future, and as you pondered that, the content feeling you feel of succeeding but desiring greater heights, Mask feels a thread within them yanked, their perception rapidly shifting. Around you now are millions of strings going every which way, and you feel cold. But not the comforting cold of the sea or snow. The frigid cold that grips you makes your soul shiver. And then you hear the plucking of strings, and a voice rings out. Ah, my newest puppet. What delightfully painful strings you have pulled. But the obsession is gone, and we must find you a new one. You feel you can speak, or whatever that amounts to in this perception area of strings and void around you.
Was it Namir, right?
Yes, Nimir. That is the goddess you prayed to.
You must be Namir then.
Oh, yes, I am. And you... Ooh, you were so delightful to watch. And puppeting my strings through you was surprisingly entertaining.
It was quite the show.
So, you feel that hollow feeling within you, the lack of obsession that had been driving you for so long. What will it be now?
I guess I need to find something else.
Yes, you do. I'd hate for such a delightful puppet to be wasted with such a admittedly grand finale you would have. I feel there is more potential for you.
It seems like I'm not alive right now. Or maybe I am.
You are, but... And you feel the string within you pulled, and you see several strings weave around you, and you see a brief vision of the ship. Rowena tending to Aurelia, shouting orders at the crewmen, and your body just comatose on the floor.
Huh.
I mean, if you wish to release yourself into death, I will gladly take you. But I feel like that's not what you want.
No, I don't think so either.
Good. So,
Still have more to accomplish.
of course, so, do you know what your obsession shall be? Do you need guidance, or do you just want something unknown to be thrown at you and to find it your own way?
Should find my next obsession. I think I won't do nearly as good if I don't get to find it myself.
Well, you will have a while to ponder yet. And of course, once you awaken from this coma, there will be much to do. So, what is next for Mask?
That is the question, huh? What comes next? Well, Maritka's gone. Just finding out about what happens with that dragon. That's ruling the seas, creating ever greater puppets. Do I see this person? Like, do I see this god?
What you see is just millions of strings, and I guess I should say this: you are not hearing words really. There are strings that pluck in such a manner that, because you are basically in their space, you are able to interpret as words. But what you are actually seeing is this, not symphony, because it as implies there's a certain amount of order to it, a cacophony of millions of strings being pulled, and plucked, and twinged, and manipulated.
Can still do more. More creations, more puppets to create.
Oh, yes, you could.
More shows.
And imagine what you could do as you see the vaguest idea of hands, and they put their fingers together and pull, and you see a single shifting string. In one moment it is gold, next it is black, next it is a pale white, and it shifts between so many different colors with no seeming pattern to it. And what you could do with one of my strings in you.
Quite the offer.
It is your choice. You have done so much with only a recent bit of aid from me. So...
Well, thank you again, by the way, for that very convenient help when the other god very much seemed to not like me.
This is the first moment there seemed to be order in the strings, as there is this delightful plucking that definitely indicates a cacophony of laughter. Oh, she was so mad. It was so delightful to twist and pull.
It was very fun to deceive her follower.
If you need time, and then you just see your body comatose on the ship again, you have it. And I'll be here.
I do.
Waiting.
Seems like quite a bit.
Above game, if you want a moment to actually think about whether you want to accept her help or not, or like what your new obsession is, we can cut to stuff Rowena is doing, and when we end some of the stuff that she is doing, we can cut back to you when you're done, if you would like a moment of time. Okay.
Indeed.
So, Mask, the strings ever so slightly fade from your mind and become just a background, and there's the single prismatic shifting string in front of you as you lull into your comatose unconsciousness. And with that, Rowena. It is... I mean, it's not a quick sailing from Maritka all the way back to Bloodbath Bay, because you have to obviously leave Maritka, then sail along this strait between the southern jungles and bordering the Blade Reef, and then you have to go out into open waters and then return to Bloodbath Bay. So it takes you, I don't know, like a week to get back. And there is, I mean, there's stuff to do initially, you know, ordering your crew around and whatnot. but what is there anything that Rowena would be trying to do or achieve on the ship, or are her plans awaiting her back in Bloodbath Bay?
On the ship, the very first set of orders she would give is just to get, like, Mask and Aurelia into a bed, and then have, oh no, names. Have Cressalor tend to them, since, he's...
That's the Wildfire Druid, right?
No, he's the moon. Or stars? Stars one. Sorry, it's been a while.
No, it has been a hot fucking second. I'm just trying to look for your... Yeah, Cress is the Stars Druid. It is Umbrelon that is the Wildfire Druid.
Yes, and I think they both have healing abilities to them. I think Umbrelon will have the better of the two.
They are your designated medic, looking at your lieutenants. But Stars Druid do have their own forms of healing that can absolutely assist. And just, being a druid grants them a lot of healing capabilities.
Yeah, Cress is, as the Stars Druid, they're our navigator, but also, so she would order him to play navigator, but first tend to either Mask or Aurelia and assign, like, one of them to each person while trying to get the ship in order.
Cress quickly orders one of the backup helmsmen to the helm, gives them a brief set of instructions, and, your backup helmsman is competent, so they can be trusted, and they just, follow the simple instructions. Cress goes to deal with Mask, while Umbrelon goes to deal with Aurelia, because as a Wildfire Druid, Umbrelon has a bit more connection to the, flame that's in a golden dragon, so they assume that that's the more immediate thing to take care of, is Aurelia compared to Mask, as Cress is quickly able to report that, they're just comatose. Like, all their vitals are stable, they're breathing, they'll need to be fed, and, like be given fluids, but you do have enough medical equipment and magic at y'all's disposal that isn't that much of a problem, because one good berry a day will take care of Mask, and Cress has that covered. But yes, they immediately go and start taking care of that.
Okay. Then the next thing that I would do is assign people to make sure that, over the course... Well, we have enough, food and supplies to get us back, okay, right? So... Oh,
of course, you have druids. Only if the druids die, you have to worry about food and water.
Okay. Yeah, she'd just basically be kind of a little bit more of a hard ass than usual. Usually she's pretty easygoing and just very serious. But in this case, she's a little more frantically barking orders and going, "Hey, stop drinking, get your ass back up. Go, you need to be tending to the sails." Barking orders at this point, because she's so, stressed and she doesn't know, what the outcome's gonna be.
Roll me an insight check for Rowena, real quick.
Okay.
14? Okay. So, here's the thing. Yeah, you are being much more of a hard ass than normal. And in no small part, it's kind of necessary, because as I mentioned, especially initially, your people were, glassy-eyed, in a trance. And you have to do this to get them snapped out of it. But in the next few days, as it's still necessary to be vigilant, with that 14, some of the crew actually appreciates it, because they're kind of... Well, they've got a lot going on, as everybody does. And they appreciate the strict, structured order to your instructions and your demands, because they can put themselves into their work and know that they need to focus and be vigilant. And it is weirdly reassuring to your crew.
Other than that, her next point of business would be, over the days that they take getting back to, we're going back to Havast, right?
No, y'all are going back to Bloodbath Bay. That is the pirates' headquarters.
Oh, whoops. Okay.
For just reference, Havast over here, that's just a neutral port town. Y'all were over here anyway, at Maritka, so it is much faster to get back to Bloodbath Bay.
Gotcha. Alrighty. Well, yeah, her next order of business after putting a lot of thought into it, part of her knows that in this sort of fight, she felt very much helpless, and that is a lot of the source of her stress and anxiety right now, is that, this was a war of the gods, and she kind of felt very helpless in all of it. Like, she gave her sort of advice of, hey, this appears to be emotional, let's go into this level-headed, but in the end, the gods kind of prevailed, and over the course of the days that she's managing the ship, she thinks about that more and more, and more and more she kind of gets this sort of rage internally built up within her, and ends up with a mentality of fuck the gods. So she is going to talk with Terror.
Do you wait till you get back to Bloodbath Bay, or do you signal to Terror's flagship that you want to basically pull up and speak?
She's gonna send a message out to Terror, but wait till they get into Bloodbath Bay to organize just a formal meeting.
So you basically send a, hey, once we get to Bloodbath Bay, I want to talk.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. I
don't know why the meme just flew into my head of, hey there, it's a girl, time to go window shopping for demons.
It's like...
Tell me that's not what this looks like.
I mean, I'm thinking of the, hey, it's your boy, Skinny Penis, but just pirate energy instead, and demons.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty funny. One thing does happen in your sailing back. Aurelia, after... actually, roll me a d6. I want to see how many days it takes for her to not be comatose.
Okay. 5.
Okay, I was going to do a d6 plus 1. So it takes 6 days, appropriately, for them to be roused from their coma. And as part of the Draco Knight thing, you have, a connection with your dragon, right?
Yeah, so I would assume, I immediately get that dragon sight and kind of have to reel from it and then realize that she's waking up.
Yes, but there's also something else very notable. Before, well, first off, Aurelia was a young gold dragon, and then because of her blood transfusion that happened with Nihilus, she acquired a lightning breath, lightning resistance, and the scale taint, obviously. And there was a very different sensation that came with your connection to her with that, but as she wakes up, there's something new, and this was something she didn't have before, which was magic. Used to, Aurelia had minor shapeshifting capabilities and no actual spells. As she awakens, you can sense sorceress magic, or her proper draconic magic, being present in her, which was not there before.
Okay. And is there any sign of anything new other than the magic that she could have gotten from drinking the other dragon's blood?
Not immediately notable, but you also, inside of Aurelia, she was also very consumed with hate towards Maritka. You sense a hollow feeling within Aurelia.
I think at this moment, though, when she does wake up, this would be the one thing that, or this would be something at least that Rowena kind of makes her break down a bit, and she immediately kind of runs up to Aurelia and hugs her, and at this point, in close quarters, she starts crying and really embraces her.
Aurelia's wings will fold over you and reciprocate the hug. Although, there is still this, if you look into her eyes, this sort of faraway look in her eyes, and a sort of, lax nature to her muscles as she is, well, just got out of a fucking coma. But also, like, that hollow feeling is just there ever presently in Aurelia right now.
So, the hollow feeling is felt by anyone who had that hatred, and then it kind of consumed them from Maritka, or
Yes.
from the events of Maritka. Okay. So anyone like Rowena who was just very, like, level-headed wouldn't have necessarily been super effective.
And it makes sense. Rowena was kind of new with the pirates. You had been with the pirates for, like, less than a decade. And were a new member of this organization. And you learned of some of the history and why the pirates hated them. But even still, you were not nearly as invested. So you don't have this hollow feeling in you. But yeah, like you said, everybody who was invested, they have that hollow feeling because the hate is gone. It was ripped out of them.
Okay, so then, yeah, Aurelia would have more of that hatred because of Nihilus and their connection.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then every one of the crew members that we had brought in, so like Umbrelon, Cressalor, Steve, well, Prince would probably have that same hatred because he's been with King Shark for the longest time.
Yeah, it varies with your crew. Some of them are, like, super glassy-eyed and nearly comatose. Others are, like, kind of like you, level-headed, and they're picking up the slack from their other crew members. It's a variety.
Okay. Then, after checking on Aurelia and making sure Aurelia is okay, she would go and see Mask.
Mask is still unconscious.
I have an answer, by the way.
Oh, you do? Actually, then let's, if you don't mind, Jose, we're gonna cut back to Mask. As maybe there's a convenient and funny waking up of Mask and bonking you in the face.
Ha ha ha.
So, what does Mask answer?
He kind of looks and goes, I have many more plays to make, many more things to obsess over, many more shows to put on, and I think I would like that string you talked about. I think I would enjoy this extra power and maybe some new visions of things to make.
And what, as you feel like your head is grabbed and the string is pulled and placed right above your head, but not inserted, and what shall be your new obsession?
I think I want to create a grand ship. Something truly amazing. A ship that I can puppet. My own
A puppet ship?
my own little, how do I say this, masterpiece on the seas that Minnie will see.
I await to see what you make, and then the string is shoved into your forehead. So, you are now an Azamar of Namir.
Yep.
Note,
Gathered.
you have very different Azamar traits than normal. You still have the Celestial and Necrotic resistance, like normal Azamar do.
Got it.
You do not have Healing Hands.
I would imagine not.
You do not have that. However, and I think this will tickle your fancy, you no longer have Mask's health pool and each of your puppets' health pool. It is one health pool.
Oh boy. That is a real fun.
However, obviously, should you go to 0, all of them collapse instantly.
Yeah. I gathered.
Second, what is your current range on puppet manipulation?
Something like 90 or more. I can't remember. It's been a hot second. But it was increased because of that Scion thing in my head.
Yeah, I have. Hold on, let me try to scroll up to see if I can find that. Because I think I
should
noted
be
it
on-
down.
I think, yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's 90-ish feet. Last I checked. It was 60 at one point, and I think it increased by 30. Or maybe it was more. It's either 90 or 120.
See, I feel like I'm mixing up in my head some of the things that you have with Psionic Explosion versus, just the, what's it, like, your puppet stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I have no fucking idea where that is in my notes. Well, okay, doesn't matter, this was probably going to be the result anyway. Your range on your puppets is miles equal to PB.
Ah. That's 4. Ah. I see. That does tickle my fancy. How did you know?
It's almost like the puppeteer goddess is working with a puppet master. Tee-hee meme.
Tee-hee, smiley face, tee-hee.
Tee-hee when you make a pirate shove hundreds of hate angels into an elder black dragon. Tee-hee. Anyway, Celestial Necrotic Resistance, 1 health pool between you and your puppets. Range on puppets is now miles equal to PB. And what is it that normal Azamar normally get? It's Celestial Necrotic Resistance, the Healing Hands, and the Transformation thing, right?
I have no clue. I'll be honest, I had not played on Azamar outside of a single character. Let me check. Azamar 5e.
I think that's what they get. Maybe like the Light cantrip as well.
Depends on the type of Azamar, but yeah. Because, where is the base Azamar? DMG. Okay, here we go. Base DMG Azamar is, Celestial Resistance, as you said, Celestial Legacy, and then the, yeah, that's it.
Okay, then I think, for now, because you were just a base champion, these are what your Azamar boons are. Which, admittedly, that's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, they do have the light cantrip. That is what you're referring to. That's what Light Bearer is.
Ah.
I'm not too worried about that part.
Can't remember anything else about the real world, but I can, off the top of my head, remember shit that Azamar have in 5e.
I am an Azamar hobgoblin.
Yeah, by the way, what did Mask look like normally? You were a purple hobgoblin with the gemstones in your head and arms, right?
Yeah.
What did your eyes look like?
They were black with little red specks.
Like solid black with just little, like, pinpoints?
Yeah, it was solid black with, like, little red pinpoints.
Now, your eyes are that black, but instead of a single pinprick, it looks like strings. Like, almost like a spider web, but not exactly like a spider web, like, converging onto a single point.
Ooh, I like that.
And they are glowing slightly.
I have an odd feeling that I should name someone Lamp.
You don't know. You don't want to put Lamp into this world. You couldn't control him. He's Lamp.
I have an odd premonition of creating a new goblin puppet. I will name it Lamp. It will glow.
With that, just because your sense of time isn't exactly super coherent, I want you to roll me 3 con, 3 int, and 3 charisma saves to see if you wake up conveniently when Rowena comes to check on you, or not.
On int charisma?
Yes, con, int, charisma.
3 of each, or
3 of each.
3 in total. Okay. And then charisma.
Unfortunately,
Jesus.
You are still unconscious. So, but
not surprising.
Rowena, when you come and check on them, their eyes are flittering a little bit, and roll me. I'll give you a choice between medicine or investigation.
Definitely taking that medicine check.
24. Okay. I hate to summon this imagery. You know what it looks like when you can see worms underneath someone's skin? And you see it wriggling?
Oh, yeah.
You see, in particular, in their cranium and under their eyelids, like a thin string. Almost like a worm, but you can tell that it's not, because it is too thin to be that. You can see it roiling under masked skin and eyeballs. And when their eyes flutter, you can see, just barely, these red lines just slowly stringing across their eyeballs. And with the 24, I'll just let you have this. Their vitals still seem to be fine. They're breathing. They're, like, you need to give them their good berry and a little bit of water to make sure they're, hydrated and sustained. But otherwise, they seem to be medically fine. What is happening is probably magical. And because you're not super magically savvy, you don't know what's going on.
I literally scream for Cressalor.
Sounds of pots and pans and someone slamming into a ship. What you need?
Look, and she's gonna just point it out and say, this does not look normal. This looks definitely magical. I don't know if this is a parasite or what, but what the fuck is that?
Rowena's crew pulling up Cressalor. You called Cressalor, correct? Oh, handsome boy.
Yeah, Cress is the chill one.
Look at that handsome. Handsome. Sorry, enough simping. Enough simping. I'm going to give them an Arcana and Medicine check. Ba-ding. Ba-ding. They scratch their head. I don't know, something magical. They look fearful.
Alright, just, well, he seems fine. Do you have a good berry I can give him?
They summon forth a handful of good berries.
Alright, I'll keep all these for later, but...
Oh God,
I go ahead and just pop one into his mouth.
I don't think you put their hit point maximum in the hit point maximum sheet because I went to look at their health and it's just 0.
Hmm?
Oh, no, it's supposed to be... His points are literally supposed to be 69. Hang on.
Alright, just making it 69. Boom, done.
No, I mean, that's what the current hit points are, but I didn't put it in the maximum, like, translated over.
Well, they got, they got zeroed by breath weapons, if you remember. That's why, because they had failed the death save.
No, I know, I put it in the opposite box, so current hit points, I had it 69, but I was like, bringing it down on the hit point maximum for some reason.
Does that mean my puppets, when they take damage, I take damage?
Yeah, there is only one health pool.
I have way less HP now than I thought I did. Or do I gain their HP?
Well, yeah, you gain their HP. Like,
Okay.
each of your puppets' HP and your own form into one pool.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah. There is little distinguishing between the puppets and Mask now.
Ah, there was already very little in the first place.
Yeah, you were a very good candidate.
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
Also, sorry, I fucked that up. I was looking at Umbrelon's sheet and said, Umbrelon has 69 hit points. I'm not sure about Cressalor.
Well, continue talking to him. I'll just roll his hit points real quick.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, well, I don't know what the fuck this is. I guess we'll just have to take it day by day, but his vitals, at least, as far as I checked, yeah, I've taken care of, well, animals for the longest time, but, I mean, pretty sure humans, similar minus anatomy, at least. Yeah, he seems fine. I'll just give him his good berry now, and hopefully this doesn't have really bad consequences, whatever the fuck this is.
Actually, if you'll give me a moment, I'll try to do a ritual real quick, and they begin to do a ritual next to it. This might be able to give me some more than just my inherent knowledge.
Okay, go for it.
Oh God, they rolled so shit for their hit points. Dear God. They have 45 hit points.
Actually, no, that sounds about right. This is Crest, right?
Yeah, this is
Never,
Crest.
yeah, I actually remember rolling pretty crap for one of them, and I think Crest was it because I remember complaining to you about how squishy he was. So that's totally valid.
Yeah, well, they have 45 hit points. They'll be leveling. By the way, your whole crew will be leveling up from this, but we're not gonna take care of that immediately, because depending on how far we end up skipping into the future for when Rowena is next useful, her crew may be like level 17. But that'll depend on what happens. But as they begin to do a slightly more advanced detect magic ritual / a commune with nature, and if you give them the few minutes, the ritual completes and they go, they light a joint. Okay,
All right,
boss.
give it to me straight.
So, you know how... Actually, you wouldn't know how. You're not a caster. So normally, when, you do detection stuff, I can get, like, vague energies of magics and, like, what school it is. They point at, Mask. That's nothing but divine. Like...
Divine.
A scary amount of divine magic.
Probably has something to do with that chaos that happened back at Maritka.
Well, if you remember, they prayed to the puppeteer. And then they did that thing with all the angels. And then right around that point, they went comatose. So, they shrug a little bit.
You think maybe they made, or they borrowed the god's power, so now this is sort of they owe them something sort of deal?
Maybe.
Like all magic comes with a cost?
Something like that. Maybe that, maybe a little something extra. When you have the attention of a god, who knows what will happen.
Well, all we can do is just keep checking day after day and making sure that he's okay.
If you want, in terms of doing the normal routines of, like, giving them their good berry, giving them water, I can do this ritual every day to see if anything's changed. Although, looking down at Mask and you see the strings whirling underneath their skin, I think we'll know if something changes.
Yeah, that might be for the best. It also might be for the best to kind of, not necessarily confine him, but quarantine him until we actually know. I don't want this goddess taking full control of him or anything and like doing anything nefarious.
Yeah. Red's been really itchy, especially after their boss went unconscious. I think it might be good if I just put them as the guard, because they won't let anybody in.
Alright, fair enough.
And they begin to take some tokes off their joint as they walk out. Mask, you will wake up we're gonna take care of the first thing that Rowena was gonna do at Bloodbath Bay, which is her conversation with Terror, and then you will wake up and we'll go from there. Just so you know what my plan is for this stuff. Real quick though, additional things, Jose. After Aurelia wakes up, they spend several days just being very quiet. They will stare out at sea, and often they will disappear for several hours, and because of your bond with her, you can tell that she is becoming acquainted with her new magic. And she is processing it in her own way. She does spend time with you. It's not like she's just gone entirely, but she does spend a lot of time staring out at sea or disappearing, practicing her magic. You will note, her magic has a silver tint to it.
Ah, so no real physical traits like another type of scale taint, but the magic is a little bit more
Yeah.
of that silver dragon's element.
Her magic should be more gold intent, obviously, because she's a golden dragon as base. But because she drank the blood of a 20th level wizard silver dragon, her magic does more have a silver tint to it.
Okay. Is there any difference, like any notable difference in power than it would be of like kind of just a basic um golden dragon?
Well, an adult golden dragon, a proper adult golden dragon, would have way more magical power than her. Considering she is technically a young gold dragon with a blood transfusion, she definitely she would have an amount of magic equivalent to as if a young dragon was a prodigy, like really coming into their own and mastering magic. But in terms of like levels, they're like level 5. They got
Okay,
like
so it's one of those things of like, yeah, she's kind of prodigal, and when she becomes an adult, she'll be a fucking monster.
yeah, but right now she is like level 5 sorcerer, doesn't have that much control, doesn't have that much options. I mean, admittedly, you know, 3rd level spells are still tight, you know, but
Yeah.
they are becoming used to it, and it is clear that like she is fumbling with it some because it has a nature to it that she is not used to, but that's part of her acquiring use to it.
Can I ask, like, what? Or I guess maybe I'd probably do some research as well, like, since Mask is sort of taken care of and we're checking in with him on and off and have a guard posted and such. I think the other thing that I would do is, just because Umberlon's a little bit more hot-headed, I'd talk to Cress again about possibly counseling Aurelia about her magic and trying to figure out kind of what the nature is and more thoroughly explain it to Aurelia, like a tutor.
I'll try, but they're being real cagey, but I'll try to give them some advice.
Yeah, I'd appreciate it. If she doesn't really want to and wants to do it on her own, that's completely fine. But if she would like some help, you know, as a druid, I know you're able to ascertain a little bit more of the nature into things, so you might be able to at least give her some insight.
I'll try, and they give you a salute, and they're like, wait a minute, where the fuck is she? As they clearly had no idea where she was. But yeah, they will go and try to help. How successful that is, yeah, who knows. But
yeah.
She will come into her power at whatever rate it ends up happening. But anyway, y'all get back to Bloodbath Bay. And you, by the way, like, it's the entire pirate, like, organization sailing back. So all of you arrive back, and it takes a while for everybody to filter back in, getting places at the docks, and, like, other crews as well are, you know, still a little sluggish from what has happened. And there's no celebration, no weeping of sorrow, just a silent doing the task. Get the ship lashed to the dock, get the anchor put down, you know, start assessing what repairs need to happen, what supplies need to be restocked on, assessing damages and crew losses once more. And admittedly, you have one boat, so it is lickety-split for you compared to the fleets that Nihilus has, and otherwise. But when you dock in a couple hours later, you get a message from Terror saying, you wanted to talk?
I would ask Terror to meet in the most kind of private location where we wouldn't really be overheard.
My quarters on my flagship could not be a more private place.
I give Mask one more check-in, and then I go ahead and let me see something here.
Unfortunately, they're still out for a while, but...
I just check on him, give him a good berry, and then...
Yeah, they're still stable, which is important.
Then I am going to go ahead and I want to bring one person with me.
Who do you bring? Or are you asking her? My bad.
Well, I wouldn't ask because I think it's probably common knowledge for a pirate to bring like one person to...
Oh, and you expect her to have her own guards, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's more like, you know, like when you're handling business, you bring like your lieutenant. So in this case, since it's not mask, it would just be like a second with me. Trying to see if anyone has like something to get us off the ship. Because the thing about Rowan is she doesn't fully trust Terror.
You shouldn't. If you want just pure muscle, Prince is your option. And, you know, he could probably jump through a window or bust a hole in the ship. If you want more magic capability, Sasha is your wizard, and she is the most powerful magic caster on your boat.
Oh yeah, could she just like teleport us out of there back onto our ship?
Oh yeah, she could easily dimension door y'all. Like, you even tell her,
Okay.
like, hey, prepare dimension door. And she's like, alright. And she prepares dimension door that day. And you will take your weird little hobgoblin with you. You go onto Terra's flagship. I wish I could describe it. However, I don't have a full description of her ship, although you do see the Hellfire mortars on her ship that just are devastating. Like, they are the heaviest artillery that the pirates possess, is these Hellfire mortars, outside of, like, Crossroads deep cannons, or, like, the highest tier of Hayes' arcane cannons, which very few ships possess.
He looks at the single cannon I gave Nyla's.
And by the way, Terror's ship is filled with nothing but tieflings and devils. And actually, a surprising amount of humans. But, like, I'm not, like, yeah, tieflings who, some of them have, like, all of them have clearly embraced their infernal legacy. They look way more demonic than you do. And also just full-on demons. Like, anywhere from, like, barbed devils being common crewmen to, like, horn devils flying around the ship as eyes. Like, there are some high-ranking demons on this boat under her command. But as, you know, you tell them, you know, here to see, like, talk with the boss, you know, they are expecting you, they lead you into her quarters, and you see, as you enter, the massive 9-foot-tall crimson tiefling woman with horns that give her an extra foot of height. And she is still in her armor, plate mail that is just, like, pitch black, gnarly greatsword, and her two, a long sword and buckler to the side. She doesn't, like, she is armed, but it's not like in a, I'm definitely ready for a fight. It's just, you know, you're a pirate lord that's also coming into this armed. It's just you always have your weapons, you know.
Yeah.
And she sits with two pit fiends. Actually, not two pit fiends. One pit fiend and one steel devil flanking her in her room. Which, by the way, these are some of the highest ranking demons out there, and they are her bodyguards.
Nice. Also, does Sasha speak Infernal?
No, but she can comprehend languages. So she will be able to communicate.
I will
actually,
not tell her to.
Actually, let me check her languages. I don't even know what she speaks. Her languages are not chosen. Splitco, do you think Sasha would take Infernal for some reason?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I'm gonna let her be clueless, because the whole thing surrounding this meeting...
I also think, at the same time, I would have told Sasha to take the comprehend languages.
Yeah, I was about to say, even if you tell her not to. You wouldn't be able to tell, but she definitely cast the spell on herself. Because she's not going into this uninformed. But she wouldn't make it overt. If that makes you feel any better.
That's fair. But yeah, both out of respect and also, well, partially for secrecy before, because she doesn't want the crew to know about it just yet. She'll be speaking only in Infernal.
Okay. So, you enter her quarters. She says, "Ah, there she is, the newest pirate lord amongst us. So, I'll admit, especially from where we last left off, I'm surprised you want to talk to me. So what is it that you want?"
Also, out of character, does she doesn't have that sort of haze to her that everyone else does she?
Roll me an insight check.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Click over. 18. I do not have her stat sheet, so I'm going to roll a dice for her manually. Okay, that was a pretty high roll. But even still, okay, I'll give you this. You're not able, like, you're surprised. You're like, wow, terror doesn't have the fogginess to her? And while she doesn't seem to be expressing any of that, it was also several days on the ocean before y'all got back to Bloodbath Bay. And the more mentally fortified people were able to recover quicker, and especially once y'all got back to Bloodbath Bay, are kind of back to normal. She's also a champion tiefling, so she may have gotten over it already. You're not certain.
Okay, that's fair. In response to her, then I just say, well, a lot's happened with Maritka. You were on the front lines, so you'd know. But from what I've seen, it appeared to be more a battle between gods and man than anything else, and it...
Well, mortals do typically... oh fuck, what's the word? I'm totally forgetting it right now. Mortals do partition their deities to assist them in slaughtering their fellow man. Less of a war between gods and man, and more gods supporting man on both sides. But yes, it seems there was something foul afoot in that city, as I have not seen that many angels in one place in a long time. My Hellfire mortars got some really good use.
Well, I'm glad of that. And you know, I hope I didn't come across as pretentious when we very first met, but I think I had some misguided, preconceived notion of good and evil and everything else, in so much that I ended up dismissing what was actually there. I mean, what I saw in Maritka was, you know, evil just masquerading as good. And honestly, it was all just shit.
I'm letting your 18 insight carry over. The more you talk about this, you see an excitement beginning to bubble in her, and her eyes begin to like flare a little bit. But continue.
When my demon first called out to me, you know, well, as you know, you can accept or you can reject, and I reject it because I don't believe in immediately accepting what's before me. During Maritka, I called out to the god that I thought would help me save everyone innocent. And I was rejected, and not just rejected, but scoffed at. What I saw in Maritka was the most awful display of bullshit holy deity magics. And honestly, it's left me in a very, very bizarre place where I say fuck the gods. I want to connect with my more infernal nature. Now, that's not to say that I'm willing to accept anything, but I at least want to explore it. I've given the mortal plane too much of my time, and I want to see what else is out there.
She stands up from her chair. I'll admit, with you rejecting your patron and getting help from Nihilus to help stave off the nightmares, I figured you were lost to hell forever. And now, I will gladly welcome you as a fellow sister. So, fuck the gods indeed. Where do you want to start? With your patron? Or would you like my hand in this? More so?
I'd like to explore everything. I'm not content with just settling for one single patron. So if I could have your help in this, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Well. I can offer help in many regards. My ties in hell run deep. So who do you want to speak with first? Me? And get a real footing? Or do you want to go talk to Daddy?
Out of context, do you know who my patron was supposed to be? I mean, out of character. Just, who was it?
I know who it was. It was a bone devil. By the name of Broxilix. I'll give you that spelling.
Bone Daddy. Ooh, that's a cool spelling. Would I still remember it in character?
Yeah, it was horrifically traumatizing.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I didn't know if he just kind of whispered in my ear and then I just rejected him repeatedly and then he just,
it was...
Oh, never mind, I remember.
It was ever increasing. Like, at first it was just whispers. And then it was visiting in your dreams. And then it was tormenting nightmares. And you needed help from Nihilus to help abate the nightmares. And it was multiple rejections. And you haven't heard from them in a long time.
Okay. She looks back up at Terror and says, well, with Roxilus, I felt I didn't have a very good amount of control over myself. And if there's one thing that I crave the most, it's my free will. So if anything, this would be a partnership versus an overall takeover. And I admit I'm not the most bloodthirsty or anything, but I do have people and things that I want to do and want to protect. I'll go to any lengths to do so.
Well, you're not exactly the woman you were before. The little girl that came to Bloodbath Bay, with tears streaming down her face, begging to be free of it, is not the pirate lord before me now.
That much is certain.
If you want to talk to them, I can bring them here.
Very well. I'm open to speaking with them.
Good. She talks. She leans her head back, talking to the pit fiend behind her. Bring the Beastmaster here. He nods, and a portal opens, and the pit fiend steps through. In the meantime, refreshments.
What does she have?
As she is saying it, she just puts a bottle of rum on the table and snaps to, just basically snaps her fingers, and a smaller barbed devil scurry. Actually, no, it's not a barbed devil. A couple of imps scurry in and set down plates of meat. Some of it cooked, some of it raw, some of it seafood, some of it unidentifiable.
Rowena meets Terror's gaze, grabs some of the raw meat, and then just kind of, kind of like beef jerky, how you grab it and she just tears some of it off and starts eating it.
She likewise grabs both a piece of raw meat and a piece of cooked meat and eats both of them at once and cheers her mug of rum at you.
She'll good-naturedly pick up a glass of rum and clink glasses.
As you take a sip, it fucking burns. Like, you've drank pretty strong rum before, pretty strong liquor. This shit is otherworldly.
Yeah, she's gonna stick to that sip for now and then put the glass back down. She wants to be a level-headed at best.
Yeah, you're having to reel less from the actual alcohol and more the actual burning sensation in your throat. Above game, you just took a couple points of fire damage.
Instant acid reflux.
Yeah, it is painful.
Alright, I knocked down 3 points of damage.
It's not important. It's not important. But your tiefling resistance helps mitigate some of it. But, a couple minutes later, the portal opens again, and shoved ungracefully through it is this bone devil who looks terrified. And then the pit fiend steps back through, a couple of wounds on them, but not that bothered. And I said, terror! I see he wasn't lying in his summons, and you were really... And then his eyes meet yours, and the terror leaves his face, and frustration comes on it. My spawn. They try to compose themselves a little bit. Now, Brock, that's a very rude way to refer to your kin. A sister wishes to join us in the proper ranks of hell. And there's a little bit of sweat underneath this Bone Devil's collar as they then turn. Well, I'm not here to discuss with you, I'm here to discuss with them. So, Rowena, I hear you wish to properly embrace your true nature.
I just kind of turns, like, she kind of side-eyed him as he was thrown in. And at this point, she kind of turns, looks him up and down, and then ignores him completely, looks back at Tara and says, he's much less impressive than I was thinking. I don't think, yet he's called the Beastmaster?
Oh, he's a Beastmaster. He specializes in dealing with the various beasties and monsters that hell has and requires.
Funny, it appears your, pit fiends were just handling him.
Oh, of course! He's a whelp compared to men in my crew. And your demonic patron looks upset, but they're holding their tongue as they are clearly outranked by everyone in this room except you and the imps.
She kind of just looks back at him and then looks back at Terror and says, I don't know, Terror. I mean, I do embrace some of the qualities that have been given to me by my spawner, but, you know, such as my care for animals and such, and my ability to empathize with them and take care of them. But, I don't know. If he's this pathetic, do you really think that he's really worthy of my time?
Give me an intimidation check with advantage.
Okay.
I know you have bad charisma, but...
Oh yeah. Well, bad charisma because she probably pisses off people. Let's see here. Intimidation.
Oh, I'll give him a roll.
10.
Oh, and he fucking rolled a 7, of course.
Okay.
There is definitely worry in his face as Terror looks over and smiles, a toothy, sharp smile. No, I really don't think he is.
And then Rowan just kind of waves, like just kind of waves one hand, and you know that not even like a wave, but just kind of that little like clap of your hand, and then just goes, "Bye, spawner."
Oh, I'm not dismissing him immediately. And before you, there's an initiative roll as Terror and the Pit Fiend lunge at this devil, and he's not able to get away. As the Pit Fiend grabs his wings and Terror puts a boot on his back and shoves him into the floor and puts a sword at his throat. This gnarly great sword that seems to be absorbing light. And she's got it pressed against his neck. Now, I think that all of the infernal power in him would be much better served in you. So, and she extends a hand, will you join us in hell proper?
Kinda looks down at him and looks back up to Terra and says, "So you're saying I'm getting a promotion?
Oh.
What's the catch?"
Well, she smiles. As you owe allegiance to Nihilus, you will now also owe allegiance not just to me, but to my supervisors. Which, there's only really one that holds sway over me. And that is the current Archdevil of Avernus.
Would I know anything about Avernus out of character?
Roll me a history check, because you rejected your infernal patronage and you do not have a whole lot of knowledge on demons.
Yes. Nope.
No, yeah, you don't know. That's the first time you've even heard the term Avernus. You just thought, like, hell. You knew about hell, and you knew it had multiple layers. You didn't know the name. You don't even know what layer Avernus is.
Rowana just kind of thinks to herself. And then she says, "Fuck the gods. I'm in."
She smiles, and Broscolus screams in terror as she severs his head. And her sword begins to absorb something. And she, rather than allowing it to absorb into the sword, she says, no, not with this one. And this energy begins to coalesce at the tip. This will be painful. I hope you don't mind, as she points the sword with the energy coalescing around it towards you.
Hey, nothing gained. Or anything gained shouldn't be painless.
As you say that, she rushes forward and shoves the sword all the way through you. This is painful. This is really painful. Roll me a con save.
Okay. Oops.
17? you are barely able to stay standing as she essentially shoves that demon's power worth of their soul disassembled and just shoves it into you.
I groan and I kind of keel a little bit, but I hold up a hand to Sasha to like keep her from acting. Like, stop, like don't do anything.
Sasha just takes a sip of the rum. As this happens, you are not becoming a full fiend. However, you are no longer properly considered a mortal. If someone did like a divine sense or like detect demons or something, you would pop up as a lesser fiend.
Okay. That's fair.
Hold on, I have to also strike through this because, ironically, I'm just gonna tell you, the patron was gonna recontact you, by the way. I had something planned for that, but you went to terror, and this went completely differently.
You know me, I'm always throwing some weird-ass wrench into things, talking with leviathans and shit.
Oh, but that was still one of my favorite impromptu fucking bullshit things ever. I loved it so much. Hold on, I need to write some things down real quick.
Also, with this, it's probably good to note that Rowan is now lawful evil.
Oh yeah, you are definitively lawful evil.
Which I need to update her character sheet. She started out as chaotic good and made this journey into lawful evil.
Let's go, evil gang!
Yeah, the evil gang is correct.
Yeah, I had to figure out whether she would be chaotic or lawful evil, because I knew she was drifting that way. She started out as chaotic good, and then because of everything that happened in the first place, she drifted towards chaotic neutral.
Okay.
And then into lawful evil, possibly towards chaotic evil.
So first, let's talk about your physical changes. Do you have a tail?
Yes.
It becomes barbed. You also grow an additional set of horns, and your face becomes much less elvish and much more demonic as the angles of your face sharpen and extend a little bit. Your eyes definitively demonic now. And I'm gonna take a look at your racial boons real quick.
Yeah.
Not that, not that. Nope. Wait, where's your racial stuff? Where's your racial stuff?
Oh, I think it's fire. I think I just got kind of basic bitch. Like we kind of edited, so I have like beast speech.
Oh yeah, hold on.
Fire resistance.
Let me look at my notes real quick then, because I know that was okay. So originally, you only have dark vision, fire resistance, beach speech, the druid craft cantrip, and locate animals and plants once a day.
Yes.
Let's go over your buffs. You now have magical dark vision.
Oh, my bad. I'm editing. Same range?
120 feet of magical dark vision. You have dominate beast once a day. And you now definitively have advantage on animal handling checks in attempt to tame tame animals.
You said Sorry, say that last thing one more time.
You have advantage on animal handling checks to tame or break animals.
Okay, so would that be expertise in it? Question mark.
No, you have advantage. When you roll animal handling specifically to tame them, not just to interact with them, you have advantage. Because there are various things animal handling checks can be used for, you know? This is specifically in desire to control them. You are better at it. You also... Hold on, let me scroll back up to the stuff you had before, just so I can... Yeah. What'd you roll on that con save?
17.
17? Give me 2 more con saves.
Okay, let's go back up here. Ooh, that's not bad though.
27 and 19.
Aren't those? Oh, well, the 27 is a division of 3, but not an 18, sadly.
Would this happen? I'm not certain. Okay, I'm gonna roll a couple of things on my end, and then I will determine if one additional thing happens as a part of your boons. Ooh, okay. Roll me 1 charisma save. This will determine the dice you are about to roll.
Okay. Oh, I got a charisma boost too.
Perhaps. Roll a charisma save.
Ooh. Actually, that's pretty cool looking.
Okay. Roll me a 1d4.
Right.
Your
3.
charisma increases by 3. So you now have
Nice.
a 12 charisma.
Hey, I no longer just piss people off.
There is so much pain initially. And eventually, it begins to subside, and you feel amazing. Like, this is the best you have felt in years.
I'm not sure why I haven't done this before. Well, I'm glad I did it with your help as opposed to taking it when I was a kid. I'd be under that pathetic bone worm.
Oh, those bone worms have their use. Although the ones in my crew are much more reliable than him.
Oh yeah,
Truly
nothing
pathetic.
against them.
Having
But
to...
I wouldn't want to be ruled over them.
Oh, of course not. You're a fucking pirate lord now. Can this D key fucking... There we go. Sorry, yelling at my keyboard. Well, welcome, new sister of hell. As she offers you a hand, like, because you didn't realize you had fallen to a knee. She offers a hand to pick you back up.
I take it.
As you are pulled up, the imps and the other demons in this captain's quarters with you begin to give a little bit of a cheer, like, yeah! One of us! One of us!
I grab the rum glass again, and this time I chug it.
I'm gonna say, like, I'm not gonna make you roll a save. You're definitely gonna be way more drunk in a few minutes. And it burns like a motherfucker, but it feels good this time. As you slam it back down, she says, "Ha ha ha! Good, good. I expect great things from you, Rowena Mist. Let's hope you don't disappoint."
Well, great things can be good or terrible, as you know. And I'll probably do a little bit of both. And if you need me, feel free to call on me.
Oh, you definitely owe me a favor. But
Absolutely.
let's worry about that at a different time.
I'll keep it in mind.
Well then.
And with...
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, with that, I would say my farewells and still have Sasha Dimension Doris back because I didn't want to get too drunk in the company.
You're already realizing, like, oh fuck, walking, that's something I have to do. So Sasha grabs a piece of unidentifiable meat from the plate, nibbles it and says, "Very well," snaps her fingers, and y'all Dimension Door back to your ship. At which point, from the magical transportation, the liquor starts to hit you, and oh god, you are drunk.
I stumble. I more like grab Sasha and like I guess I eventually end up falling. I don't remember falling into her because I'm just kind of mumbling to her that we need to get to private quarters, and I go in where Mask is, and then like kind of. I guess she sits me down because I'm not going to remember that. But I kind of start talking to her about what happened so she's aware. And I guess, is she going to stop me and admit she heard the whole thing?
You're drunk. So she just lets you, like, talk to her as she nods. Roll me an insight check with disadvantage as you're getting more and more drunk by the minute.
Okay.
And I'll give Sasha a deception check. You feel like she seems to be just like hearing a story again. You're not sure why, because like you told her not to cast comprehend languages, so why does she act like she knows? And as you drift off drunkenly, you probably won't remember that she may have overheard all of that, but we'll see.
The last thing I say before I slip into a drink coma is, keep a secret.
Of course, Captain.
Sasha's so not going to keep a secret. That's not true. I think Sasha might
No,
Sasha
Sasha will follow her captain's orders. She disobeyed them by casting comprehend languages, but she'll follow the orders of keeping it a secret.
Oh, Sasha won't tell Mask?
Oh, she'll tell you, but you gotta wake up first.
I was gonna say Rowena would tell you. She's not gonna, like, she wanted to keep it a secret at first because she didn't know, like she didn't want to startle anyone, but she'd eventually tell Mask. He's kind of dead to the world right now, though.
All right. So, with that, there is a flurry of new activity. You have to, just take stock of the things that are lost, what needs to be restocked, future plans, and several days pass. And eventually, Mask, you wake up.
As I wake up, I just, not even intentionally, slowly recall every single puppet that I control over to where I am. No strings, but just they come. All of them across the ship.
The few that are left after most of them got destroyed.
Yeah. And then they just pick Mask up. And he kind of like looks around like, oh. Oh. Oh, this is going to be good. Ah, that freaking hurts, though. I have a question, Dragon.
Ask away.
Do I gain the ability that Asmar has to occasionally fly?
No.
Okay. That's fine. I have Bessie.
Yeah, you have so
Cool.
much better than a flight. No, you have Bessie.
Yeah, I have Bessie.
Bessie!
Bessie! He just shouts out, Bessie! The fucking bat flies in.
All right. What do? You're getting carried along.
Is Mask quarantined and is his door locked?
There's
With
a
all
guard
of this-
outside.
With all of this noise, you see your door open and you see Red, and there's like, hey, boss, you're alive.
I am. I'm very much alive.
I'm gonna go tell the captain. They just start scrambling off. Eventually, Rowena, you see the scrambling goblin Red. Be like, bah, Captain! Mask is awake!
I immediately just drop everything, like delicate responsibilities for whatever I was doing, and then run over there.
Mask is on his way to the top floor, to the top of the deck.
So y'all will meet each other in the middle.
Indeed.
Actually, I think at this point he's gonna see some very large demonic, like, lady just running towards him, not even what I used to look like. I forget about that.
Yeah, you do. She looks notably different. She has an extra set of horns, she has a barbed tail, and her eyes are way more demonic than they were before.
Oh,
And
does
I
my
look a
skin
lot
change
more
color?
angelic.
Do you want it to?
I mean, I don't know. I just think it's kind of. I mean, is that an unusual color, like a very pale blue for a tiefling?
There are some blue demons out there.
Oh, okay.
I have a question for you, Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
What color strings were the puppeteer's strings?
Every color imaginable.
Okay. Tell me if this is possible. I would like to imagine running down my arms now are just a variable of what look like strings of different colors.
Sure.
Just all over.
I honestly, I felt like I was doing only something tiny with just the eyes changing. But yeah, sure. 100%.
Alright. Yeah. The mask looks a little more, I don't know if you'd call that angelic. I guess depends on the person. Looks a little more angelic with his eyes glowing slightly and his new tattoos, it seems.
Lorena kind of rushes over and just kind of gives him a hug and says, "Oh my God, you were out for so fucking long. What the hell are these like strings everywhere and around your eyes and ugh?"
Oh, those. A gift from the goddess.
Goddess.
Yes, Mimir. He said she liked what I did, and that I should, find a new obsession and a new goal.
Obsession. Hasn't your obsession always been your puppetry?
Oh, yes, always, but my most recent obsession is now dead.
A puppet that you made?
No, Maritka. We've killed Maritka.
Oh, yes. That's right. Well, what's going to be your new obsession?
I have a ship I wish to create.
So you're going off on your own? Or
No, I simply wish to create a puppet that is a ship.
for what purpose would this be if this ship here is very resistant against a lot of things already and is fairly quick at least?
Because being able to control a whole ship with the mere thoughts and strings of the gods seems fun. It seems like something I just need to do.
I guess, but it also seems like she's got her strings around you.
Oh yes, quite literally.
Oh yeah, by the way, that puppet affliction is permanent. You cannot get rid of it.
Which one?
You remember how you had the affliction puppet when you did your concordance? That is now permanent.
I don't know what that affliction is.
Basically, you can be taken control of by Namir at any point.
Yeah. I imagine his mind after this is even more fragmented, and there are just now separate personalities within Mask that are just these puppets completely. And that they just act without him thinking too much about it now. Like the puppets just walk around. And he is like lost at this point in his like mind on it. And he goes, yes, quite literally, her strings are wrapped around me.
Wow. It's going to be a little bit hard if, she can just possess you, or whatever she's doing.
Puppeteer.
Sorry, what was that you cut out?
He said, well, not possession, puppeteering.
I mean, taking control of something, either way. I mean,
Well, I doubt she'll just be taking control of me all the time, considering that would defeat the point of me entertaining her.
I mean, slapstick is entertaining to some, not everyone.
Cut to Timothy doing a fucking ham boning on his bones.
But I'll have you know, while you made a pact with a god, I technically did make a pact in a way. I met up with my old patron with the help of Terror, and we both determined that he was unfit to lead. And I got promoted to his position, so to speak. In that regard, I definitely owe Terror a favor. But I'm also now loyal to both Nihilus and Terror, as well as her superiors. And out of context, or out of character, I completely forgot their name, but I tell them about the the demon above Terror that she told me about, that I'm now loyal to.
She didn't tell you who that was. She just said.
Yeah, she told me the name. She said, "Oh yeah, this was my superior, the A," and then I asked about.
No. They're the current archdevil of Avernus. Avernus is a plane of hell.
Sorry, I meant to say I'm loyal to her superiors in Avernus. My bad.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say she did not tell you her superior's name.
No, my bad. No, I got it mixed up.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would assume they did not tell the name.
Names probably carry weight there, just like with the Feyworld, huh?
Information has power.
But yeah, she pretty much fills Mask in and just kind of adds in I mean, are you gonna be okay? I still have my own free will. Well, to some extent.
Well,
But
I wouldn't.
you're cutting out, would you say?
Mass kind of laughs a little, and he's like, "Well, I think I do have my own free will. That's about as free as it's going to be. And if you're signed with the devil, I don't think that it makes you much more free than I am."
Well, the difference is I didn't make a pact directly under something. Mine is more of a lawful agreement, so to speak. Favors owed, things of that nature. As well as I am now working kind of, think of it as an organization that I'm working with. Whereas you can be taken control of at any given point in time, and that makes you a lot less trustworthy. It's scary.
I'm sorry. I'm getting judged about trustworthiness by a person who made a pact with the devil.
And what's so good about gods? Gods betrayed just as much as fiend kind.
And what's... I could say the same question but back, and it would seem just as stupid.
The asymorph evil god and a fucking newly ascended tiefling arguing about morality.
Yeah.
Max just looks at you and goes, "I'm not taking this stupid argument about morality from two very clearly bad people. This is like something you would see... This is like a story Hayes would tell me when I was younger. And I would think that they would be stupid. Which, I mean, admittedly, I do, as I'm definitely... Well, I don't... Yeah, I'm evil. I'm definitely evil now. After just helping slaughter that many people."
Sasha walks by drinking a Tres Cabos. Both of you have collars around your necks. Although one pulls up and one pulls down.
Correct.
Oh, by the way, Master, she got stupid shit-faced with terror as well. It was really funny.
Good shit. I mean, if you're gonna literally with Devil's Demons, you might as well, right?
I mean, don't act so high and mighty now.
High and mighty, I'm nothing. I don't know how you think I'm high and mighty. At no point have I said I was better or in any better situation.
You look down on me because I made a pact with the devil.
I'm
but...
not looking down at you, though. Actually, I'm looking up at you currently. No, you're the one looking down on me currently.
I'm saying I'm worried because in my predicament, I'm called and asked to take care of something, and I go and do it, but of my own volition in the way that I choose to take care of it.
And you think I can't do that still?
Yeah, with one caveat, you are directly able to be influenced.
And you are directly going to be able to told to not do something you might want to do now because you have a pact.
I mean, I can still do things as long as I take care of business.
Wow, so can I!
Alright, we'll see how it goes.
I understand your concern, Captain, but at the same time, I'm still able to do the stuff I want. As long as I don't directly go against the will, then I'm good. I can do what I want.
Oh, interesting to see you being so formal with me. Well, if that's how it is.
Considering I was just told that you don't trust me, and that, you seem to be looking down on me, I don't know what you want.
I don't trust the gods, but...
You
at the same
literally
time,
just said you don't trust me as much.
I said it makes you a little less trustworthy, but... I still trust your judgment if that's... You know, if you have it under control... then I believe you.
Under control, that's really the term to use.
Well, you know what I mean.
Red walks up beside Sasha. Wow, they've been awake for like 5 minutes and they're already arguing this much, even though both of them has been juiced. It's like nothing has changed. Sasha just, yep, and takes a sip of their Tres Gapos.
Mask looks at Sasha. You better have one of those for me.
They just pull one out and toss it to you.
Perfect, thank you.
Now then, welcome back to the world of the living. I've got stuff to do. And she goes off to find Aurelia and check and see how she's doing.
Sasha.
Yes.
I have money and a passion and a desire to make something. Come help me.
And I am but your humble wizard.
Yes. Humble. I should make a puppet of you, Sasha. Have I done that yet?
Please don't.
Keep talking. I need to get your tone right for when I make it.
They thaumaturge you the sound of a zipper zipping closed.
Oh, I'm only joking. I'll only do it once you die. Make a puppet out of your corpse.
They just shrug, like, whatever. Their weird, twinkling starlight eyes following you as they walk behind, and Red just scampering about like a goblin.
Bessie starts playing around with Red, scampering around. Bessie tries to bite Red's ass. Like aggressively chasing him, like.
They begin to scamper about. Hold on. So, I have a couple more things as a part of this, of which Mask can be a part of now because they are conscious and alive. Jose, Flamehaven, the quote-unquote neutral trading port that you set up, 3 situations will arise that are going to require your attention. This is not really in any... I'm not giving a specific time frame. The first one's going to happen a couple months after the murder of Maritka. The next one's going to be maybe a couple years. And then the third one's at some point in there as well. Not really too particular of how important it is, but there are a couple of things that are going to happen. However, do I do that or do I do this first? You know what? Let's do the first situation. So first, the first is a matter of violence. A group of vessels from Bolivar arrive in Flamehaven a couple months after the murder of Maritka. They want vengeance on you for, killing their comrades, friends, and even family that they had in Maritka. They are a small enough force that, I'll just be honest, with your crew, your flagship, Mask's new boons, and your fucking dragon, you could easily kill them. But do you want to just resort to violence, or do you want to take another route of dealing with them? Because technically, they're fucking with a neutral port town, despite it being run by pirates.
I will negotiate rather intimidatingly. So essentially, with the help of everyone, probably grab Sasha and use Dimension Door to get on their main ship, and politely demand to speak with the captain.
Would you take Mask with you as well?
Mask, you want to come?
Mask sends one of the puppets and goes, "Yeah, I'm with you."
Then yes, I would have just the 2 people with me, and I'd raise my arms kind of in a peaceful gesture when I boarded their ship.
They definitely look really angry, like they really want to stab you, but because you basically call for parlay, the captain does come out.
Ask definitely has his gun.
Of course.
Well, hello there. You are the captain, I presume.
Yes. And you are Pirate Lord Rowena Mist.
That I am indeed. Well, there are a couple things that you don't know about my little port town here. One, that it's neutral, so had essentially nothing to do whatsoever with the fall of Maritka. And two, that just shortly before the fall of Maritka, I noticed all of the civilians in the civilian quarter who weren't wrapped up in this and shouldn't be caught up in this. And I did my very best to get all of them out before the bloodshed. Those are two things you probably didn't know. Now, the way I see it is you're attacking a very neutral port town versus having the balls to go all the way to Bloodbath Bay, which is where, you know, it's well known for being pirate headquarters. So, what's your goal here?
Before the captain can respond, a crewmate says, "Kill all you filthy pirate fuckers!" And the captain looks more fearful than anything at his crewmates.
As soon as that crewmate shouts, Mask is pulling his gun out and is aiming it at that person.
Rowena kind of puts a hand over to Mask to tell him to like stand down, and then looks over and says,
"He's not shooting."
No, I know. She like puts a hand out and just kind of shakes her head and tells you to lower your gun, and then she looks back up and says, "Indeed, I'm pretty sure all of us at some point have fucked a pirate."
With what you said about trying to save people, are you trying to intimidate or persuade this man?
Ooh.
Because technically what you're saying is true.
It's a little bit of both. Intimidation for, you know, she's standing strong about him attacking the neutral territory, and then also persuasion because she's trying to, like, make kind of an empathetical approach, saying, hey, I tried to save who I could. Not everyone should be caught up in this. But if you attack my town, which has nothing to do with this, I will fucking end you. So it's a little bit of both.
Okay. Well, pick which one you want to roll and roll it. Hello? There we go. Oh. Well, let's see how this person rolls. What? The fuck? Really? Okay. Alright, lucky bitch. You may have rolled an 8, but they rolled a 6.
Yay!
So... this is how I'm gonna explain this. So, as you say this, like, the captain's like, I don't believe that, and then, like, a crewmate is like, no, my wife's brother, like, got out of the city, apparently because of, some weird hippie dude, escorted him out, and I think that so, there were people who were trying to get people out, she may be telling the truth, and murmurs spread amongst the crew, and the captain looks in disbelief, but they look and see the dragon flying over the town and your flagship. And they think about it and they're just like, fine. And you can tell there's a lot of grief in his voice. A lot of sorrow, a lot of rage. The intense need for revenge. But they're having logic take over. And... sorry for the yawning. I'm hungry. And so it makes me tired.
You good.
So... he does order his, people back.
And Rowan at that point will kind of nod at him and understanding and say, I think we all lost a lot that day with Maritka and with everything that happened. So I'm going to give you some choices here. You can either completely retreat, go back to Bolivar. We'll pretend this didn't even happen. I believe you understand how outmatched you are with my crew and the resources that I have as well. So I don't think you want to take the route of fighting. But the other choice that I will give you as well, because my town is a neutral town, you are more than welcome to establish trade routes and build on something. Come and live there, see how it is. And, you know, fresh beginnings are a good thing. Hopefully it never comes to bloodshed again.
They sort of sneer. They're like, we'll retreat. Don't count on anything else. And they begin ordering people to get the ship turned around and telling the other ships to fuck off, you know, go back to Bolivar.
Mask wants to leave, make them leave with one extra threat.
Go ahead.
If you make a mistake like this again, I'm going to kill your family members that survive. I'm going to turn their corpses into puppets and slaughter you with them.
Roll an intimidation check.
Gladly. Oh, my character sheet. Oh god, there's so many character sheets.
Rana kind of looks at him and murmurs, "And how are you less demonic than me?"
I didn't say I wasn't. I never said anything about that, dude.
Intimidation.
I use inspiration. I want this man terrified.
Sure, reroll.
Fucking
No!
never mind.
Wow.
I mean, it's still plus 10.
However,
so it's
they rolled a 3, so the 11
doesn't count.
still works. You get a fearful look as he begins ordering people faster. Alright, that's the first situation resolved. A matter of violence solved without it.
Nice.
Well, that was Diana's inspiration.
Second, this is something a little bit more minor. It's been like a couple years at this point, and a report comes in of former mariners reported to have come into the trade town from Womp after pirate spies followed the one who entered the town. This is more of a, what do you want to do with them? They were wearing the attire, although it was shitty and ragged, but they were still showing their allegiance. And apparently there are survivors that are hiding in Womp.
Survivors of
Maritka, of the Navy.
Isn't Womp that place you go if you want to be left alone?
Left alone and hide, yes.
Should we care about them?
Well,
I mean, are they
survivors
actually
can
doing
always get stronger and rise up. Remember, they're going to be telling this story for generations to come.
Ah, you want to do what the dwarves do, I see.
Huh?
Huh?
The dwarves?
Yeah, the dwarves, you know, they hold the grudges. They're pissed off for generations.
No, I'm saying they will be pissed off for generations if left unchecked.
A dwarf in your crew? That's stereotypical and also accurate.
Hey, you want to do it?
God.
You're gonna dwarf them. You're gonna be like, yo, they'll be pissed for generations, so we'll slaughter them now.
No. I just want to know who's left alive. So, first thing that I want to do is I want to take this person that they found onto the ship. I'm gonna play good cop first.
To be clear, they did not capture this person. This was just, they saw them enter the town, and so they followed them, and they were followed back to Womp, and they are reporting to you now that this person's in Womp.
Oh, can I have them acquire said person and bring them to me?
Might be more than one. Want us to bring just them or all of them if we find more than one? I'm assuming you're talking
just them for now.
What's your fucking crew member?
Probably Umberlon or Steve.
No, probably...
Well, not Steve.
No, probably Pan, the assassin. Because he's the kind of person that would have been able to pull this off. Or...
Pancake!
Or you just insert random pirate spy that you have employed / works for the pirates in general.
Pan's fine.
Yeah, Pan basically is like, just that one? Try to take all of them?
Just the one for right now.
Hey, Cake.
Good turn to you.
Don't forget that WAMP is that supposed to be a place where we kind of don't fuck around too much, so try not to get caught. Because, you know, it's meant to be a safe haven on some level, and I do not want to get in trouble with them for doing things like that.
Well, let's see.
Also, we're slightly notorious there because, you know, we went and slaughtered that one guy.
I forget. They probably have a magical item at this point that gives them advantage on stealth checks.
Oh, yeah.
And they needed it because a 29 definitely makes it to where they will not be noticed. And for capturing purposes, I mean, they sneak attack them and use assassinate, but non-lethally. And yeah, with a 29 stealth check, it takes like a week. If you are, it takes longer if you go back to Bloodbath Bay, but if you're in Flamehaven until they decide to come back, it's like a week. And then they come back with this, admittedly, it looks kind of sad. Like, their uniform is dirty, filthy, tattered, nothing like the former pristine nature that the Navy would keep their equipment at. This person looks disheveled and shaggy. They look like they have no hope in their eyes and are just a broken person. And as they get put before you, so, dragging each and every last one of us before you for an execution? Or what?
No. Nothing like that. And she kind of just, I guess now that she's like a big mommy tiefling, she's just gonna like pick him up over her shoulder and then walk him into her office and like sit him in the chair across from her, and then she's gonna have Sasha like prestidigitation him to make him clean, and then kind of shoo everyone away and then sit down on the other side.
5 minutes of Sasha prestidigitationing them.
Yeah, and then she's gonna just kind of prepare him a hot meal and some warm mead.
There is definitely a rat inside your quarters that is very intently listening.
They don't touch the food or drink. They look nervous.
I can promise you it's not poisoned, and I will not be executing anyone without due, well, if I don't have a reason to. I just want to have a conversation.
Want me a persuasion check?
I was going to say, this coming from the however tall demon woman.
Look, she carries
20.
herself well, though.
With a natural 20, they hesitantly reach out and grab like a piece of the bread and eat it, and then you hear the rumble of their stomach, and they begin to eat the food.
I'll pour myself a cup of meat as well and just kind of sit there and chill, let them eat a bit, and then I'm gonna, gesture at their state and say, so, I imagine there's a good number of survivors of Maritka, and,
Good number. Good joke.
well, wasn't meant to be one. We all lost a lot that day. Now look, the whole thing was sparked because of the hatred that runs deep in everyone. In the pirates, in the Navy. And in all honesty, the Navy spurred their people to do things that they should never have done. They relied on an angel of hate to take over, and a lot of people were caught up in the crossfire that shouldn't have been. I tried really hard to get out civilians that didn't deserve to die, and In all honesty, I got out some, but not as many as would make me extremely happy about it. So, you were spotted coming into town and then returning to Wamph. I wanted to make you an offer. You and the other survivors of Maritka. You're free to come and live in my trade town. What was it called? Blood Hall?
The Blood Hall's the name of your ship. Flamehaven is what you named the trade town.
Oh, sorry, Flamehaven. Yeah, y'all are more than welcome to come live in Flamehaven so long as you live well and don't cause a ruckus. I can help get you started with things. And you could do your trading, you could build up shops, whatever you want there. So long as you agree to live your lives peacefully and not carry a blood feud.
Is Rowena telling the truth?
She is, absolutely.
Okay.
Essentially out of character, she will be playing good cop, bad cop. If her persuasion does not work, the next person she will send in will be Mask.
They sort of slump. Quite literally a deal with a demon. Sounds too good to be true. We went to Womp so we wouldn't make a ruckus, so we could be left alone. Although, they sniff themselves. It would be nice to smell like something other than mud and shit for once. You see this hollow look return to their eyes. I just want to be done with it. I don't care anymore. If you're not lying to us and you're not just gonna lure us all in to butcher us, I'll try to convince them. Most probably won't come with me, but you can actually promise me a warm place to sleep in that town. Their shoulders sag. Sure, anything's better than living in that swampy shithole.
Yeah, I've been to Womp before. Not a pretty place. But I can promise you that you and anyone else who come peacefully, and if you do come, you're going to have to do away with any sort of Maritka or Navy regalia, just because of, everyone else that's in that area. Even though it is a neutral port, it might spark up
There's still a shitload of
past
pirates.
grievances. Yeah, it might stir up some issues. But I swear to you, if you come with a sense of neutrality and just a will to move on with your lives peacefully, I will provide you not only with a place to stay for each person or family, but also I will stave off any taxes for a solid 3 months until you get your bearing.
Shit, you're throwing the no tax offer out there. I would have made you roll persuasion, but no taxes?
Hey, she's only lawful evil. She knows her way around the system.
There is definitely a rat that is staring intensely at this man.
Let's see if the... No, they don't notice the rat. They rolled a 2.
Do I notice the rat?
I'd
It's
say
pretty well hidden. So
I'd say
I would,
no because you're focused on this conversation with this person and reading them.
That's fair.
This person was just looking around because they're like, this is too good to be true. This is literally a deal with a demon. What the fuck? This person agrees that they will come. However, they express, they're probably not going to be able to convince even half of the people in Womp. They'll go back and try, after a month or so, perhaps. At the very least, you have convinced this one person, and maybe more will come. And you can tell by the way that this broken, hopeless man looks, they just want to get away from it. They just want to be done with this and not be hunted. So you have succeeded in with at least one person. You don't know how many others. Like at the very least, like after like a month or so, you check in and there's like almost a dozen that have taken you up on the offer.
Would if we my Texan came out. If we send Pan back in there, can he give us, like, if we sent him again in the meantime, like, could he give us a kind of a rough estimate of how many did survive?
So here's the thing. You would actually get this report at some point. There were only 3 major ships that survived the slaughter. One of them was sent into a frenzy and did a assault on Bloodbath Bay and died. That was like 2 weeks after the fall of Maritka. And they were just obliterated. One of them fled to Bolivar, and you saw that ship amongst the people that came to Flavehaven to talk, but they have clearly just become a part of Bolivar's navy, and they're trading now. They're not a part of Maritka anymore. And the last, you realize, the crew of them were hiding in Womp as their ship was destroyed by a kraken. As when Pan went to investigate, he found rowboats, and that was it. And there's maybe 3 people left in Womp who are still hiding, and the rest seem to have gone to Flamehaven. So those were those who survived the slaughter. One went to Bolivar, one died attacking Bloodbath Bay, and one went to hide in Womp, but now most of them live in Flamehaven.
Okay, so I got a good half to 3/4 of the people.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, at least a good number. That leads to potential for other things later. Alright, so with that I'll go to Mask and I'll talk to him about everything. I ask for Mask's opinion as to whether we should just leave it alone after this point or take further action. Mask?
Yes?
I'm asking you, since we did get, about a dozen or so of them over to Flamehaven to kind of start afresh, there's still a number of them, probably not too many, but still some that are in Womp. Should we just leave them be?
If they don't fuck with us, I don't care.
Alright, I think,
If they do mess with me, I will find their families, kill them, and make puppets out of them.
I'd rather you not do that last part because it sounds kind of gross, but yeah, the other stuff, I'll allow it.
Well,
but,
do what they say. Art imitates life.
Still gross. Anyways, out of character, I think what she'll do is she'll go ahead and just kind of send scouts every so often to check in Womp and make sure that there's no kind of militant preparatory action.
Oh, no. There is none. These are broken men who just want to be hidden away from the pirates and are trying not to die. And just living a quiet, sad life.
Okay, then yeah, she'll leave well enough alone and just support her people that she's brought into Flamehaven. And at any point in time, if any of the other ones end up joining, she'll give them the same exact offer.
All right. Now there is one more situation that arises in Flamehaven that acquires your attention. However, I want to shift over back to Aurelia, as she comes to Mask and Rowena with a plan. And this is several months after the murder of Maritka. And her mind is now clear. and you've been feeling it through your bond with her. The fog that was there is gone, and there's been this building of ambition. And she will talk with Rowena and Mask and say, I have a plan. So with the fall of Maritka, merchants don't have the safety that the Navy provided. And, especially with your new port town that we've established with Flamehaven, Rowena, people will need to be protected crossing over to the other side of Seraphos. Now, many will angrily hire the pirates to pass through the pipes, which is a very dangerous but lucrative opportunity. But with Rowena, you being infused with more demonic power, and Mask, you turned into an Azamar of the Puppeteer, and me being infused, and our very specialist crew, we could very much find a lucrative opportunity in offering our services to merchant ships who wants to pass through the pipes, vengefully, and we can charge exorbitant rates, because of course we will, if you want us to go through the pipes. I will say, the profit and fame would be unparalleled. Rowena Mist, navigator of the pipes. We could form many connections in Havast that would, in time, exceed even Nilas's. Especially considering she definitely won't allow her fleet to take such risks during her hibernations, because her crew needs to reestablish itself after the losses it took during the siege. We could get a lot of money and a lot of fame by being the main economic protector of shipping goods over from the west to the eastern coast. What do the two of you think?
I mean, not just do we make a name for ourselves and a ton of money, but we also grow stronger by whatever's in there.
We also will slaughter all of our weak members.
It will cull the weaker members of the crew, that's true. But there will be strength gained.
Oh, those who survive such trials will surely be stronger. That is very true.
I mean, think about it. The others will be hiring pirates, but because they're not going to go accept the exorbitant rates and suicidal idea of going through the pipes, they'll be taking so long going all the way around the southern edge, or navigating through the channels in the now much more cluttered Gulf. And recently, apparently, near Grallo, an area has just turned to food, and the water turned to milk. So, and there's also a asparagus leviathan in the waters nearby, so it makes one of the more readily accessible routes even more dangerous to pass through. So it'll take even longer for people to go around.
Well, I say we could tackle one or the other or both. Get someone successfully through the pipes, being one. Or should we attack the, you said it was an asparagus leviathan?
Yes, it seems to literally be made out of asparagus, but it's also very dangerous, apparently.
Not my favorite vegetable either. But
I don't think we should deal with Leviathan.
why not?
Let's just say that Hayes has told me I shouldn't.
Okay, well, it's wise to listen to Hayes always. Alright then. I agree with you on the pipes. It's a good idea.
Perfect. I'll go start trying to recruit more people, because we're going to lose some.
Make sure they're worth recruiting.
Oh, of course, they'll prove whether they're worthwhile or not in the pipes.
Also, you're looking a lot better now, Leah. A lot more,
They'll die.
with yourself.
Yes, my mind is clear. And they give you a big draconic smile.
If we're going through the pipes, I have a new puppet I need to make.
Is it gonna be fish or snake related?
Maybe.
For some reason I can imagine you making a giant sea monster.
That might be what I do, but I don't know. Depends.
Or a giant squid.
It depends on what level I am. Is the actual answer.
By the way, me talking about maybe your crew hits level 17, they're definitely getting high level now.
Hey.
What level are we currently?
Like 11?
Yes. I'm after all of this. This is what I'm trying to figure out.
After, like, you going through the pipes? I mean, that's just continuous
Before the
level growth.
pipes.
Before the pipes, like... Technically, this is only, like, a couple of months afterwards, so you're still level 11, but at the point that it's been a couple of... Like, even, like... Put it this way, the first time y'all make a trip through the pipes, y'all get a level up. And it's dangerous. The only reason I'm even allowing y'all to just, through a downtime activity, basically, ship people through the pipes is because you need a heavily magically fortified flagship with artillery, powerful pirate lords, and lieutenants to have a chance to be capable of surviving a passage through the pipes. Y'all definitely have the people to do it, but there are a lot of close calls with your lieutenants, let me be clear. Like, Red and your druids nearly die a lot. Like, a lot. But they also grow in strength very quickly because of that.
Alright.
So, your crew will become... It's very good you have a specialist crew, let me put it that way. Because every day that you spend in the pipes is multiple combat encounters. It is rough. And, oh yeah, also all that stuff I just mentioned, and an adult dragon.
What color dragon?
Well, yours, the blue and the golden blue. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, literally, you need a dragon, 2 pirate lords, and specialized crew. Tons of magical items to have a chance. But yeah, no, with this, y'all will, like, this is one of your downtime, your money makers and your level getters. This is how you're getting levels and money, is through your repeated trips through the pipes guarding merchant caravans. Or merchant ships, not caravans.
I want to add that at some point, when we reach level, what is it? When we reach level 13, I gain my Warframe.
So yeah, basically, you take 2 trips through the pipes, and then you have all of the money you need to be able to make your Warframe.
Yes, my Warframe, by the way, is a construct that is minimum has to be large.
Nice.
But also, it gets a breath attack.
Sick.
And you know what level 17 holds?
Another Warframe.
Enter the Warframe. As in, it becomes a robo-suit that I can enter.
You know what's funny? With the boon that I gave you, that's unnecessary.
Oh, it is, but you know what's very pleasant? I can't take damage while I'm inside of it. From things that are on the outside.
True, so you're minimizing AoE damage potential by putting one of yourself in there. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But also, just as necessary. But also, the Warframe gets the other second ability. This is the special part. It can equip 2 modules instead of 1.
Nice.
and its HP is higher than my other ones. It's 6 times my puppeteer level.
Wow. Yeah, so that gives you a huge health boost.
Oh, and then for some reason, and this is the most busted part, its AC is 10 plus my dexterity, right? And it adds my full dexterity modifier to its AC regardless of the armor it's wearing.
Damn.
Meaning I can plate that bitch up to the heaviest shit possible and still get a +5 to it.
That is disgusting. I love it.
It is the puppet of like
Beefiness.
it is the puppet. It is your best creation. It is the
Nice.
final puppet you unlock.
Very nice.
Also comes with a minimum cost of 1,000 GP.
Easy.
Which is a lot harder in normal D&D.
Compared to when you're pirate lords and you're doing shit like this. Oh no. Oh no. Fuck. No. Oh god. I've disconnected from the Discord. This is not good. This is not good at all. Oh no.